Yo, I just got broke off by a big fish. First one I've hooked. It was sweet. Fought it for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes. I couldn't really make any leeway on him. And my pomp rig snapped at one of the knots. Gosh. Alright, gang. Chilling on the pretzel. LG, the grumpy panhandle fisherman. Back at my tie-in table now. In the Panhandle. Where we are officially settled in. Kinda. And, well, I've been all over the place. I haven't had a lot of really good fishing video content because I just haven't been catching fish. Nobody has here. However, with that said, on Tuesday at dusk out at Fort Pickens, I hooked a beast on a combination of frozen shrimp and fish bites. Unfortunately, it was on one of my super light rods, one of my flyweights, one of my bass rods, and I don't know what it was. It was probably a big black drum, but I fought the thing for about 6 minutes. I didn't really fight it. I just hung on for about 6 minutes and watched it peel out line, and then it pinged my... Unfortunately, it pinged my pomp rig at one of the knots. So I never got to see the fish, but it was a big fish, really big. And I finally got to feel that ocean thing up here in the Panhandle. It was awesome. But with that said, I was in Colorado last weekend for work and a little bit of play, skiing. So I'll throw together a video here of just kind of a mosh posh of stuff. And super exciting news, I finally got a fishing kayak, an Old Town PDL, a Topwater PDL 120, which I've put together yesterday, got it dialed in. I got to get a trailer to haul it around. I do not have that yet. And in the meantime, I'm going to sit down at the tie-in table today, the tie-in bench, and tie up some bugs. I'm going to tie up a couple dozen flies from my buddies out in Colorado that took care of me while I was out there. So I'm going to shorten up the intro to my videos. You've seen it a million times if you've watched my channel. And tonight I'm going to tie up some pretty lightweight pomp rigs. We've got a little mini tournament going on again for whiting. I'm going to try and fish that tomorrow if somebody doesn't win it today in the morning. And then the Florida Panhandle fishing guys are having a rod demo out in Navarre Beach. So I'm going to go check that out early. And probably fish in the morning, probably sun up till that starts at 8 a.m. So get a couple hours in. But that's what's going on. I have not landed a fish up here yet, but even our veteran surf fishermen are struggling right now. They're going out for hours on end and not catching fish. Water's still cold. Temperatures are beautiful. I mean, it's 74 degrees today, but it's still cool at night, and the water temperatures are still in the low 60s. Sounds like they need to pump up another 7 or 8 degrees to get everything going. The pomp run's coming, the spring pomp run's coming, and I'm learning all about that stuff in the process of. So everything's awesome. Again, we're settled in. So here's a video, just a little bit of everything the past few weeks, whether it was not catching fish with a fly rod or surf casting. Actually, when I hooked up, I'd kind of given up on catching fish because it was my 14th day of fishing without catching anything. And I put my GoPro on time-lapse mode to get the sunset. And of course, while I was doing that, that's when I got to eat, and it was violent. Fish almost pulled my rod out of the rod holder into the ocean, or into the Gulf, I should say, sorry. And yeah, typical. So I don't have any footage of the fight, unfortunately. But it was awesome, super exciting, addicted. Can't wait to get out there in the morning and fish again. Anyway, that's it. That's what's going on. Big shout out to Nick over at Navarre Kayak Fishing. I got a bunch of upgrades for my kayak before it even came, and I got them all installed yesterday. and I'll put some of that on this video as well. Anyway, time to get caught up. I'm going to try and start putting up some more content. Just haven't had time to get out there with this and that, and you know, we still got stuff going on with the move, but we're pretty much done. We're kind of down the landscape and some other stuff. Anyway, LG, the grumpy panhandle fisherman. Enjoy the video. I'm out.
There it is. All right, man. Well, I made it, and it's chilly. We got about 3 inches of snow, 2 to 3 probably, and it's about 2 degrees. And there's not a lot. I mean, I just got here and there's nobody on the chair. There's not a lot of people up here this morning. But I think it's going to be smooth surface, which should be fun. And I don't know how many runs. See this right here, guys? Heated gloves. That's key on days like today. And, you know, I got the ski pass. I was coming out west to work and figured I'd get a couple more days in on my pass before I work all weekend. And boom. Oh, 2 days ago I was standing on the beach surf casting for reds and black drum and pompano and whiting, which I didn't catch. And today this is going to be pretty good, I think. Yeah. And the sun's trying to peek out, which is awesome. LG, the grumpy panhandle fisherman, hashtag legending. I'm out. 5 rods, no eats, man. I got shrimp, fish bites, sand fleas, frozen sand fleas, Slim Jims, marshmallows. I throw it all. Ugh, getting crushed. All right, you guys. I'm going with the Slim Jim. That's what we're gonna throw. Slim Jim. I can't catch him on anything else. I might as well try a Slim Jim. I'll eat the rest. Double Slim Jim rig. Gone. What'd that catch on? Backlash. Whoa, bummer. Yeah, there it is. All right, boys and girls. LG, the grumpy panhandle fisherman. Down here in my old haunches. Just a little bit about my history so you have a little better understanding of where LG came from. This right here, Cordillera, private property, parking by permit only. Beat parking, so beat 5, beat 6. In the year 2000, I was hired by Jerry Engel, one of the developers of Cordillera, which sits up this valley and also off to the east here, to come and start and manage a fly fishing program for the club at Cordillera. This was public water up until that time, and the club somehow bought rights to the water here for the golf courses, which really pissed off the locals and turned this into private property. And I was the first slave here. They hired me to come in and manage the property, keep trespassers out of here, and run the fly fishing program for the club. And it was a war. And man, I got in a lot of battles with a lot of people. Even came to fisticuffs one time. More on that later. But anyway, there's 6 beats down here. So it's about 1.5 miles of river, and I divided this into 6 different sections marked with signs like this. There you can see beat 5, beat 6, and that's an access point right there. And I had an ATV trail up here to patrol the property, and I built all the accesses to the river. And we would fish. The club members would call me, and I ran the guide service, and I also guided. So I ran the guide service, guided, and managed the property. And they would call to do half-day fishing trips down here. And I had about 6 guides that worked for me. And they would fish the even number beats So it beats 2, 4, and 6 on the even numbered days of the month. And then the odd number beats 1, 3, and 5 on the odd number days of the month. That way we gave the water some rest, and the fishing down here is awesome. And one of the unique things about this section is in the winter time, beat number 6 down here stays open because just upriver is the Edwards water treatment facility, and it discharges warm water and it keeps this section of the river open. The rest of it's frozen. So you can fish down here all winter if you want to come out on a day like today when it's about 15 degrees and fish. I worked here during the Kobe Bryant fiasco. What a mess that was. And again, Jerry Engel hired me to come here, and I had an ATV I would patrol the river on, and I had to kick all the guides off and all the public that had been fishing down here their entire lives. And it was pretty messy, but the club paid me good money, so I did the job. I used to be the guy on the other side of the fence, and then they hired me to be the guy on their side of the fence, and I knew all the tricks. So yo, I just got broke off by a big fish. First one I've hooked. It was sweet. Fought it for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes. I couldn't really make any leeway on him. And my pomp rig snapped at one of the knots. Gosh. It was sweet though. I'm addicted. Yeah. Oh man. Hey, Mr. Blue Heron. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I just, about 20 minutes ago, I hooked my first fish in a surf. I fought it for about 6 or 7 minutes. I couldn't get any leeway on it. It was big, whatever it was. And it just took drag. I'd get a little, he took more drag, and then finally my pomp rig broke at one of the knots. It was awesome. Super psyched, finally. Day 14, I finally hooked the fish. Anyway, I'm packed up, the rig's ready to go. Down here at Fort Pickens. And I'll always remember that. Even though I didn't get the fish in, super psyched. Mission accomplished. All right, LG, the not so grumpy panhandle fisherman. I'm heading back to the vehicle, go home, and have some supper. It won't be fish tonight, but it almost was. But man, that was a big fish, whatever it was. It wasn't no Rocky Mountain trout, I can tell you that. And that's how we're gonna wrap it up. A little bit of rebranding is gonna happen with the channel, the YouTube channel. You know, it's just kind of a hobby. And I'll get it all flipped over to the grumpy panhandle fisherman. That's going to be the gig, and get it right, shorten up the intro, and make it more informative. I think my kayak comes tomorrow. I don't know what this guy thinks about that, but he's been hanging out looking for some free food. All right, Larry G. Ha ha! Finally hooked a fish in the Gulf, and I'm psyched, and it was fun. Can't wait to do it again. I'm out.